Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Neenah the Crazy Geek Crafter. And I got a new toy, which I'm going to unpack for you, and then I will use the dies that come with it to make a card. Now this is my new big shot Switch and my dog. He loves packages. Every time we get one, he wants to help open it. So, since I have so much back pain, I've been saving up for this machine, and luckily it was delayed a few times, so I did have the money for it now. And some dice and an embossing folder and a guide, some electrics, going to need that, and the machine. And the dog found his food ball. It's a toy which delivers food whenever he knocks it over. There. So that was more interesting than my package, apparently. I guess he figured out there was going to be no treats in this one. If you heard that, I'm sorry. My dog gets to be on my table sometimes. Yes, that's Mama. And now he's watching me edit the video. I'm going to switch up so you can see where my machine is going to live, and it's actually going to live in this position, not the one I will shove it into in a minute, because I found out this was the easiest way to handle it while I'm still sitting at my desk. You got a quick preview of the things that came with the machine, and now I'm just figuring out how to rearrange my pegboard to make space for the cutting plates and everything, which was unnecessary. Oh, this part is always happy. I don't know, when you can find the end. There was a lot of plastic on this to protect it, and it was shiny and bright and pretty. But there's also a lot of waste in that, I think. So I'm figuring out how to keep my plates here. I'm just going to start out with my old plates from the old machine. I didn't see any reason to cut into the brand new plates when I didn't need to cut anything that big. Maybe I never will, but until then I'll just use these, or whichever will replace them once they crack. I always keep extra plates on hand, and when this green one cracks, because it's mostly the bottom plate that cracks, when it cracks I will transfer the top plate to be the bottom plate, and then I will take a new colored one to go on top, so I always know which one is bottom and which one is top. So I alternate with buying colored and not colored plates. I need to learn to time when to press the back button to get the plate back. That would be easier for my back, not to have to reach around the machine to take out the plates, but I still haven't quite gotten the hang of that one. Now I cut out all of the florals in some Gummiapan white paper just to make a cover for these dies. I think these are the ones I will use the most. Maybe the hexagons. I'm not so sure about that intricate thing. I don't know even what to call it. Cover plate? It doesn't even cover the card completely, so I'm uncertain what to call it. But I don't think I'll use that one as much as the other two sets. So I figured I was just going to put the cut plates away, so that I only need to keep the most essential things on my desk. If I need to cut something big, I don't mind going in the drawer to get the plates that I need. That's also where I keep all my big dies. So back to the normal view of my video. This is my desk. You probably know it. Unless you're new, then welcome, of course. This flower apparently needs a bit extra work in the die cutting machine. That, or the place where it was on the board just didn't get enough pressure for it. I'm just quickly going to cut an extra one with my tiny machine here, so that I have one for the cover for the storage, so I can see what's in there, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit. I'm so excited for this new thing. It really does make my life easier. I have to stop myself to not just die cut and die cut and die cut, because it's really easy to use it. I'm very happy about it. Now I'm trying to figure out how the different flowers go together, but I think you can mix and match them as you like. I'm especially thrilled for these greenery pieces. I often need greenery, but don't really have any. And this radiator looking thing, I asked online because I couldn't figure out what it was. It's apparently you're supposed to fold it in half, not fold it completely, just the two ends that are together. Put those together and then you roll it, and then it becomes the stem for a flower. So there are all these loops coming out of the flower. I haven't tried it yet. I think that's too much bulk for my taste, at least. But maybe I'll try it just for fun at some point. But yeah, I couldn't figure out what it was, because you know, when the scale of the plants to the thing, it couldn't be a window box. It would be far too small. Look at the leaves. You know, it didn't really make any sense to me. But luckily, Facebook is always helpful, so I got some help there. Now, like I said, I think these flowers will come in handy. I don't have too many flower dies, and at times like Mother's Day and when you need to make cards for people you don't really know, flowers is always a good choice. I'm just gonna write where these dies came from, and then count them out and write how many I have, because that's also important to keep track of. And here I make a mistake. I cut off part of the flower. So I'll make a new one and patch it in place. Luckily it was only that tiny bit there. Here we go. Now I'm going to see how little space I can fit all of these dies onto. That's always a fun game, when they don't come on a magnetic sheet and you have to figure it out yourself. Yeah. It's probably my generation's version of Tetris. I'm a bit too young to remember true Tetris. I know the game, but it was not in my heyday. So I skipped the die cutting part of all these flowers. I cut them in Neenah Solar White so that they are easy to color in with my alcohol markers. So I'm just going to jump in and get some color on these. And now the card base. I figure maybe I should have put on a mat of maybe some very light green or something, but I just wanted to make a wreath with all these flowers. I thought it was going to look so nice. So I just jumped in and did it directly on the card base. Of course, first I need to shape all my flowers, which I do with my old mouse pad here and a excuse me, it's a quilling tool, but the end is rounded, so I use it instead of a ball tool. That's at least what they're called in cake making, a ball tool. I don't know if that's the name in card making, but I haven't bought one of those yet, but I need to. I know if the ball is small enough, you call it a stylus, but they won't work as well for shaping flowers. Have you seen me press in the middle and then, so to say, roll the flower around with this? You can also turn the flower over and then do that. And then you turn the flower back over when you have rounded it, and then press in the middle. It gives the flowers this funny shape where the petals go up in this, down in the center, and then up and down again. I think I'm going to do it with these ones. I don't know if you can see what I mean, but it gives a very nice shape. But it does need big petals, a small center where the petals are cut fairly close to get the right effect. Otherwise, you just crease the paper. So round the flower, turn it over, and press in the middle. I don't do it on the big part. I just keep that one rounded. That's right. And you saw that these I colored on both sides. It was because I was afraid you were going to see the underside of the leaves. So that's why I colored it twice. Just to make certain that what you needed to see would not be uncolored. So now let's build a wreath. And this is where I realized how big these leaves are. I like these little round ones. They were very useful, but the big long ones, they're very dominant compared to the flowers. But I'm just going to fiddle around and find a composition that I like. Trying to get everything in there, but I can tell you this much: I will fail. I will not be able to get everything in here. It won't fit size-wise or theme. The branches, which I figured was going to look like cherry blossoms that hadn't unwrapped yet. It just looked like berries for Christmas. So those are not gonna do. And I cut the big leaf off of these ones to make it fit better with the size. That very big leaf, it didn't really work for my wreath building. So I treated myself to something new. These are gems from Pink Studio and they're gorgeous. And I'm going to put them in all the centers of the flowers. And it's just going to look great. Now I have to be careful not to put this on every single project I make from here until Christmas, because they are mesmerizing. This color is called Glacier, and I picked it because it would fit with just about anything. And yeah, pretties. I made the wreath to the top of the card so I would have room for sentiment, and now I just have to find the right one. I'm looking for congratulations in Danish, of course, and I'm going to end up using this Swedish one from Gummiapan. And in Sweden you don't say Tilykke, you say gratis, but they are kind enough to also make Danish sentiments. Yeah, I'm making it on Neenah paper again so that I can color it in with my alcohol markers to make it match with my flowers. I'm going to pick up purple, and I figured I could just color what I needed for the word, but it's easier to just color the whole damn thing. And this gradient thing I was trying out didn't work either. So, you live and you learn. I don't do this much, but I think I will start to, because it actually does look pretty nice. To be able to color in your sentiment to match with whatever you have made. And since die cutting now will be so much easier for me, I think I will choose it more often and combine it with my love for coloring. I was actually packing up when I realized I'd forgotten all about my butterflies. And the big ones just didn't work out. They're too big. The small ones would work, but I needed to recolor them. So I make a few touch-ups and change-ups, and yeah. And the black pen really helps also to give some detail. I should maybe have given some more detail with the black pen to some of them, but it is what it is. I did try with the big ones, try to color them in, see if it would help if they were less white, but really they were still too big. I am saving them though. I have this bowl where I throw everything in when I have leftovers. I often plan ahead, but with florals and things like this, you want to make more than you actually need, because it's going to be a bother to go back and start over to make more. And it's easier to just have a few extras. last butterfly on. I hope you like this card, because I sure did. And I'll probably play with these again when I have an opportunity to make a flower wreath. I'm hoping for a haunted house video next week. I hope I can find the time during the holidays. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening, or night.